He was reading my op-ed in today's Australian Financial Review, which was saying that Australia needs a policy on India that's driven by data, not drama. The real problem is that so much of our international discussion about India is so drama driven. It's, somebody has a story they want to tell about India instead of actually coming to the data about India. The data about India are so positive that to hide them is a crime in itself. So he loved that the newspaper op-ed appeared this morning in Australia's major financial newspaper, emphasizing that we need to talk data when we talk India.
Okay, and Salvatore, because you've spoken about that article, I was reading through that article, but before, we talk about that article, a lot of people have been wanting to know that how did Salvatore get interested in the Indian democracy? Over the last many weeks, many months, we've seen you all over the Indian media. You hold a very, very strong social influence. People say you're an influencer. Yeah. You've been in India, you've traveled abroad. Right now you're in Australia. So from where did this, love for India really begin? And what's the best thing that you like about India and the Indian Prime Minister?
It's funny because I've been writing about India for 4 or 5 years now. In fact, I had a book about the BRICS economies where I wrote the chapter about India. That was a 2016 book, if I remember right. So I've been very interested in India for a long time. What specifically I've been writing about in the last year or so has been India's democracy, because we have a situation in India where we have a truly, and I use this word advisedly, a truly extraordinary democracy. And by extraordinary, I mean not ordinary. If you look at the profile of an ordinary democracy is a rich European or North American country that is broadly secular, not a lot of religious attendance, and is generally progressive in mindset. Now you compare that to India, which is a deeply conservative, deeply religious, developing country. Well, on the statistics, we would not expect India to be a democracy, but there it is. It is a democracy. So that's what motivated my research and what got me, well, unexpectedly famous or infamous, depending which way you view it, in India, was simply that I went to the numbers and I said, all of this vilification of democracy that I hear in the West, all of these negative sentiments about India simply aren't supported by the data. Not only that, the activist narrative criticizing Indian democracy isn't even supported by the activists' own data, which is the incredible thing. So that's what went viral in India. I suddenly 6 months ago picked up 70,000 new followers on Twitter. Now, I don't consider that much of an influencer in Indian terms. Indians have 1 million, 2 million, 9 million Twitter followers. That's not me. I don't speak the local language. I'm local languages. I'm simply doing my best to say something interesting and meaningful about Indian democracy.